Thank you. Good evening. It is now 7:03, and I'll call the Master Plan Committee meeting of Wednesday, October 16, 2024 to order. First order of business is a roll call vote. Linda, if you could start us
Linda
up.
Brown.
Carol Gogolinsky.
Ross Smith.
Meg Schlesman.
Mike Zwicker.
Gordon Larrabee.
Bob Moran.
Sansu.
Hey, folks.
Rich Preston.
Hey.
Some members, and
Any excused?
I haven't heard from anyone else.
So those other three are unexcused?
Yes.
That we're saying? Okay.
Yep.
Just
Well,
note
I
that.
think Bob and Eric's going to be here,
Yeah.
but
Oh, actually, I'd be surprised if he wasn't,
yeah.
frankly. Okay.
The other two members are Brendan and Bombara.
Yeah.
Okay. Two members we've seen the least.
I mean, I think it's a little punitive, the unexcused thing, but it's the rule, so
Yeah.
we got to roll with that. I
So,
guess it makes sense.
in order to have either of them removed, the committee must take a vote to have them removed. I think you give Brendan another chance, but maybe Mr. Bombara, we haven't heard anything from him. Just have him removed, it frees up a spot.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
Which
I-
Bombara is it?
John,
John.
he used to be selectman,
Yeah.
ZBA. I mean, then we could fill that spot with somebody else.
All those people that are knocking on the door trying to get
Well,
on.
Somebody might be interested.
Yeah.
Once the flyer goes out,
Yeah, yeah,
and
that's
they want to
true.
participate.
We had some people in the survey say they wanted to
Oh.
be involved.
Well, to order, is that something you want to take action on?
Has anybody
Should we
tried to reach out to him?
Did you reach out?
Aside from sending him regular correspondence, not individually, no.
Okay, so maybe one last chance, we'll reach out to both?
Okay.
Benefit of the doubt, phone call or something.
Yeah, and we can take it up next meeting.
Okay.
Let's put it on the agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
You should all have a copy of the minutes. Let's take a look at those, if you would. September 18th. Matt, I have a question for you. The room where the planning board used to meet, what's that room called?
The community development room.
Okay. Did we reserve that room also?
I reserved the entire building.
Okay, so I would just amend the minutes to add that room.
Where are you?
At the very end.
On
That's
page
it.
1?
Page 1, sorry. Matt Benoit has reserved the town hall, municipal center.
Yeah, I mean, that covers both rooms.
Okay, and the
Well,
gymnasium. It says municipal center, gymnasium. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole,
so we got it all.
yeah.
Thank you.
On, what's it, survey? We questioned the fall town meeting date in November 2024?
Yeah, we had no idea
What
when
was-
the fall town meeting is.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
right.
think we knew at that time.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Do we know now?
November 18.
Yeah.
What is the date of the,
November 18, I think, right?
Yep.
November 18th? Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
first sentence under the bullet that starts with Emily.
Sentence.
Emily to launch the survey website possibly next week when she hears from Matt Benoit that there are no further amendments from the committee and Matt needed for the maps.
What page are you on?
Oh, sorry, on the back.
Backside.
Linda.
First sentence where it says postcard?
No, where it starts with Emily?
Emily. It doesn't make sense at the
Okay, way
end.
down here.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just the end of that sentence, and Matt needed for the maps.
Just get rid of that. No further amendments from the committee, period.
From the committee.
Period.
No further.
And Matt.
From the committee.
And Matt, okay. Then it should have been a comma.
Matt Benoit. So what do you
Gonna
want to
Put a
change?
period at committee, right there. No further amendments from the committee.
And delete the rest.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we should just delete "and Matt."
Yeah.
We need to have needed for the maps, right?
Yeah, 'cause that's what the
Okay.
topic was, yeah.
Okay. Just get rid of me then. Let's go.
Not that it's important, Linda, but my last name has an L in it.
It's very important.
Are you sure?
Some days.
Shushman.
L.
It's all good. SCHL. Yes. Thank you.
That.
SCH.
You got my name right.
Yes. I
an
always get
easy
mine
one.
right.
That's a much bigger problem.
Any other thoughts, considerations?
That's good.
If everyone's in agreement, I'll make a motion to accept the master plan meeting minutes from September 18th, 2024, as amended.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it. We vote, Bob Moran.
Bob, how are you? All right, so we have a motion by Ross, seconded by Bob. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed?
I'll abstain, I wasn't at that meeting.
Okay. And Mike abstains.
Mike, you're right, I probably shouldn't
Oh, yeah.
second the motion. I was not there as well. I guess I should abstain.
That's a 50-50 call on some of it.
You got me.
I think we have to have a
There
roll
is no
call vote,
Mullen
don't we?
Board.
You're supposed to roll call, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry, roll
So
call
should we
vote.
do a
Thanks,
full
Bob.
redo? Because Bob wasn't there. Bob Moran.
Okay, all right. I think we're good.
Yeah, I don't think, yeah.
Someone
else just needs to.
We're good. So with that, we have, of course, Emily and Sam with us here from CMRPC. The floor is yours.
Excellent.
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
So I think we'll start with talking about the survey.
Hey.
So it's kind of an exciting update. We're up to
It was 468.
Wow.
168 responses so
That's
far.
great.
I didn't even do mine.
My
No, I
mind is
haven't done mine
blown.
either.
Like,
All different people?
Terrible.
not just one board person.
So you got my 10?
That's cool.
So I wanted to print out the initial results so far, just to give you guys a sense of like what people are saying, kind
Awesome.
of where the trends are.
Thank you.
So feel free to take a look through.
Thank you so much.
And I don't know.
I guess I got to fill my vote, huh?
So
Mine too.
excited.
I don't know how many people come to the workshop.
See?
Keep up with free pizza, we're gonna have the whole thing.
I know.
Yeah, we may need the gym. Huh, thank you.
So the chart at the top, you can see it's kind of the number of responses that have come in each day since it's been open. So I don't know what was going on October 7th, if that was Oktoberfest.
The 5th, the 5th was the October.
Okay, so maybe,
So
yeah.
7th was that Monday.
People took home flyers and did it later or something. We've also had a Facebook post out, I believe.
Yep.
And so that's kind of been, you can pay Facebook to basically insert this advertisement into people's news feeds
Haven't seen it.
when they're on Facebook. So even if you don't necessarily like follow the page, it will show up in your feed, and you can target it based on like geography. So we targeted towards Douglas. I think you can also target based on like age and demographics, things like that. So I think that has also helped as well. You know, people are kind of
Yeah, it's-
look, it just shows up.
It's been coming up quite a bit in those
Yeah.
feeds.
I did have one
17
person come
shares.
up to me being like, when we were at Oktoberfest, being like, I wasn't sure if that was legit or not, because, so want to make sure like we're populating, I guess, the Facebook page just with information, so it doesn't look, so people can be kind of on edge. You don't want to click on something that might be a bad link or something. But, yeah, and so the postcard went out. Did everyone receive the postcard at home?
I have not received one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
Yep,
If it hasn't gone
Did you get
out.
one?
I got one, yeah.
I did get one.
You,
At the post office.
yep.
I'm sure it'll be coming around.
yeah. They were dropped off last week, early last week, I believe.
Yeah, last week, was it the week? Yeah, it was probably last
It
week.
was early
like
last
Tuesday
week.
last week.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Drop them off our post office.
Yeah, your post office,
Yeah.
They probably do 50 a day. They just- When they get time, they'll do.
Is that how it works?
Well, but everything have to go to Boston, and then it comes back.
Yeah, it
It
does.
goes out to Boston. and
There's no
comes
more
back through
local
Shrewsbury.
And
slot anymore.
Nope.
It just goes to Boston.
It goes to Boston and comes back.
Oh,
They go to Boston or Shrewsbury
Yeah.
sorting center.
It is,
Goes to Shrewsbury.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where the sorting,
Kind of crazy.
that's where the center is.
Somebody else had said it goes to Boston. That was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe that's changed.
Yeah.
No wonder they're losing.
I might get it
Did you
tomorrow.
have anything else you wanted to say about the survey? Any like trends or anything you kind of noticed? We were playing around with ways to kind of consolidate, because there's a lot of comments. So how to kind of group that into themes. So,
there was one thing about the survey respondents. There seemed to be a skew towards much higher income levels. If you go towards the back of the survey, the annual household income range, it seems like there's a lot of people that are 150K or over that responded compared to the other brackets.
What page you on?
Page 71 out of 77. So we were looking at maybe targeting some of the postcards or flyers towards the census block group with like the lowest income level in Douglas. One idea we had for that was asking the church to distribute flyers. So that was one thing we sent an email out to the pastor.
or Housing Authority. There's a contact at the Housing Authority.
Do we have a housing?
Do you have one?
I don't think we do.
No, not an active one.
Oh, okay.
We
What
don't
about
have-
any low-income housing?
The only,
it's private.
the only thing that we have is Riddlebrook, which is for seniors.
Okay.
And then there's Haywood Landing, but that's not, that just has a few,
Was that like Section 8?
yeah, but only a few
Yeah.
units.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the unique thing about the church was that it's within the census block group that's supposed to have the lower income of like the census block groups in town. But we thought like maybe like the flea market's in that area, so we could maybe leave some at the flea market. But if there are any other like sort of community like centers within that block group that people would know of, we could try to target those as well.
So what do you mean by target? Leave some of the applications, or what do you
Leave
mean by?
leave the flyers or the postcards at like facilities in that area.
You should do all the churches, I think, not just a church. I mean, we have
Right.
4 or
We have
5.
4, yeah, well, we have the Catholic Church, then we have the Methodist Church, and then we have
First
the First
Congo,
Congregational,
second.
Second Congregational. I think that's it, 4 churches.
A lot of comments,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't see
Just a
the, it
question.
looked like there was, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, just a question. Are copies of this available at the senior center?
Yeah,
Just a
They are,
flyer.
okay. And
no, we
did
left surveys there as well.
Did we get a good response from that? Or do we know, I guess, I'm just looking at this now the first time.
So we had originally left maybe like 10 survey copies at the senior center that were all taken.
Yeah.
So then we came back with 50 more surveys that we left there. But according to Matt, he said they were being handed out quite a bit, so. And that there was like, even like the flyers when we went there, a lot of the flyers were taken. We left like, I think it was like 30, 40 flyers, and most of them were gone as well, so. It seems like a lot of people at the senior center were interested in taking it.
Yeah. Okay, that's good, thanks.
The income data is interesting. And I think we've experienced, it's unofficial, but I think we've experienced sort of a demographic shift. I don't know if any noticed that right around COVID and just after. And the way I measure that is the expensive high-end cars you see bumping around town now. I mean, I came to town hall and there was like a Mercedes and a BMW. These were like $100,000 cars all in a row, not trucks or economy cars that I'm used to seeing. And I'm seeing a lot of new faces too, driving these cars. I think people came out looking for bargains during COVID and scooped up some real estate. But it's speculative on my part.
Well, and then there are houses that are selling close to $1 million down on, down on Perry Street area, so people that buy $1 million houses, I bet they make 150 grand a year.
Yeah, or more.
Kind of need to.
Do you have the names of so I think the one I saw of the church was St. Dennis.
Right.
Do you have the names of the other churches in town? Because I did like a search for churches on Google Maps, and that was the only one that came up.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there's a big church at the end of the street.
The one, the long
That's the
lawn.
Second Congregational.
Okay.
And then there's the First Congregational where the gazebo is,
Have you been up to the gazebo?
heading towards Webster.
I haven't been over
Oh, you
there.
guys have missed the best part of Douglas.
We still got to get a tour of Douglas.
What's that? Oh, yeah, the
Old
Scarecrow.
Douglas.
We have a beautiful town common, beautiful. New England at its best.
So there's a
It really
church,
is beautiful, yeah.
there's a church there, and then the Methodist church is by the post office on
Same
corner of
street.
Main and Gleason Court.
Okay.
Is that First Congo open?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah?
Should we
Okay.
schedule a tour?
Fairly active.
Talk
Yes.
about that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't get down that way.
Yeah, we
Because I go by it all the time.
Yeah.
we didn't like the tour was like it could kind of like be fit in like
so-
anywhere along this point, but yeah. If how should we go about that? Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to kind of focus more on the workshop and then maybe after the workshop, schedule for a tour. Because
Okay.
we were thinking for a tour, just for us to get a sense of the town and just talk to some of the key players, like to go over, to see emergency services, the library, talk to folks in town hall, just anywhere else we think it'd be good to kind of make a contact. We could come prepared with like interview questions too and have like a sit down, like kind of one-on-one interview. Just really spend a whole day kind of absorbing Douglas and people here, so.
So logistically, how does that work? We give you the sites to go to when we make the appointments for you to meet people, or we go as a group from place to place and point things out? Because I know we've done the ladder. The last time we did the ladder, we actually took a tour of the town. So I don't, what would work best for you?
The way we usually do it is we have like a couple people come with us to all the sites and sort of talk to us about things, but we also arrange for people at those sites to speak with us. Like in Douglas, we had the town planner and one of the select board, or no, in Spencer, we had the town planner and one of the select board members come with us and sort of answer any questions we had along the way. But then they would arrange for us to meet with the town librarian, the police department, everybody in town, basically. Or like everyone at all the sites that we went to. So, yeah, but if there's another way that seems to work better, then we're open to however you want to do it.
Well, the idea is for you to collect what information you can, so, I mean, unless anyone has an objection, we'd look to you to tell us what would work best for you.
That worked.
Be most beneficial.
I think that went really well in Spencer last time we did it, so I like that method.
Could we suggest some of the things we think they ought to look at?
Sure.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Please, yes.
So you're not just looking, we're not just showing you town-owned sites, like
Right.
the
No.
library?
No, just,
Any
good.
like important sites in town.
You know, I think you should go see
Historical sites even?
Wallam Lake State Park.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Up there where they park on Route 16, where you can do all the hiking. The trail, the trail where the
The old
railroad used to be.
railroad, SNEP.
Yeah, where they walk and they do horses. The water slides, I mean, it's privately owned, but it's still a big part of the reservoir.
And this would be a good time of the year to
Yeah.
look at it, because it's closed, right?
Right.
The water slides, that, I think, that's like, it's like an actual, it's like a little mini water park. And
It
Yes,
is.
yeah.
okay, I went there when I was a kid.
Yeah.
The big pond,
Picnic
the
grounds, yeah.
reservoir is there.
Beautiful.
What's that?
It's a picnic ground, yeah, it's
Right,
a nice
right,
shady
yeah.
area,
Very
great
nice.
family
Yeah, it's a great
destination, but it's
It
a
is.
small water park, yeah. And a lot of people say that, I went there as a kid, so.
Just a thought, getting back to the flyer distribution or postcards. The restaurants downtown, is it possible to ask, they're always busy. Pizza places, the restaurants,
Right.
they're always, people are always in and out. Every time you go through town, they're coming out of line. It's just high traffic areas that might.
all right, yeah.
Even the Z-Mart,
I
that's
would,
on,
yeah, exactly.
You
I
gotta
would even
wait.
be willing to take some to my business,
Oh,
because
perfect.
we have people in and out all day long.
Right.
Do we have spare flyers here, or?
I'll take some. I get a lot of people that go in and out of where I am, too. They're from Douglas.
We can print some more.
I mean, I wouldn't give them to people from Northbridge, but
Just
they
a-
could,
what do you mean? what
Yeah,
you
no, that's a great
a
idea.
picnic
Thank you
point.
for-
My daughter's.
There's no issues with getting
yeah,
private
well, that's
companies
People are
to
coming in from
That's,
Douglas all the time.
distribute flyers.
Yeah, but that's.
If they're willing.
Whitensville.
Yeah, but I wouldn't give them to
Yeah,
Whitensville
just-
people. I don't
So
give
can you
them
get us
to people
a
from Douglas.
gazillion?
Yeah,
At least half a gazillion?
sure.
Yes.
I think the downtown businesses are a good idea. I'd be happy to do that.
Got people in
Take a
Douglas all
clutch
the
and go from door to door. Yeah.
Gregory's would probably do it for us.
I'm sorry?
Gregory's would probably do it, no.
I think most of them would,
The
if not
coffee
all.
bean, too, would be good. A lot of people go in for the coffee bean in the
Yeah.
morning.
House of Pizza.
House of Pizza.
They get that, they've got the little opening in front, but wouldn't even interfere with counter space.
Right. And then, you know, the ice cream lady,
Exactly.
you know, there's a
Grill on
lot of
Main
people
have a
going in
The
there.
Axel Tavern, I don't know if it's still called
Doesn't
that.
Grill on Main,
Oh,
have a
yeah.
bulletin board right when you walk in?
Grill
That's
on Main.
Grill on Main, yeah.
Yeah, we can hit them all.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to do
How
it.
about Riley's Barber Shop?
That's where I'm going soon.
There you go.
Me too, I'm starting to get my wings, I gotta get down.
There you go.
But I bet a lot of people from town go to Riley's.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, he's a busy guy too.
So what are we doing, just the flyer, not the survey?
I say get the surveys, too. They could take the flyer or the survey.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
When it's better for businesses, if that's too much.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
you know,
How many extras you
I
have?
mean, I'd take both to.
I just have to print more.
You have
We
to
can
print.
bring them, leave them with Matt. So anytime you want to stop by, bother Matt, grab some flyers.
Right.
You know, why don't you print some more? We got a big budget.
Oh,
Gotta cut it to pizza.
speaking of big budget, in our packet's not on our agenda,
Yeah, sorry.
we got approved for our grant.
Which is
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice job, Matt.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Are you kidding me? Yeah, you said something today. I was like, you know we got
No,
that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
He emailed us yesterday.
Yeah, so Matt has been driving that bus, so thank you.
Yeah.
Nice job, Matt.
Now we can get a gazillion flyers. All
Only
right?
150.
All right.
Flyers in color print.
125K, yeah.
Yeah, what are we up to, 135? No, 145, because 30 came from the town, there's 115 in the grant, 140.
Yeah,
You got the full grant.
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome.
Yeah, very good.
It's nice to tell people that too when they're asking, how is this getting funded? Well, we got a grant,
Yeah.
guys.
Like, a survey respondent was there, like, we need to be getting more money from the state. It's like, well, you actually just got a lot.
What people have
Is
to
there
remember, though,
anything
it's not free
you want
money.
to share? Anything else you want to share regarding
You're
this?
paying taxes for it.
So we can
One way or
continue
the other,
that
being
go to
billed
before
less
the
than
next
some other
meeting
town.
too.
Well,
If
that's the
you
only
home
thing.
and take a look at it and have any thoughts or anything.
Okay.
It's a discussion point for next meeting.
So from meeting to meeting, we're going to continue visiting the survey results. Does anyone on the committee have any questions regarding the survey results, comments?
I think, sorry, I'm not on the committee, but I'm reading comment number 28 on page 73.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, what page again?
I just suggest everyone at least read that comment.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah, that one's really, really well thought out.
Page 73, comment, which comment number?
Page 28.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't,
Did you put it on the screen?
don't have to read it now, but,
No.
it's,
Yeah.
something I,
Oh, could you put it
Oh,
on the
I'm
screen for him?
sorry. I was.
so I'll take a look at that one. I
70.
don't know who wrote that, but that's very insightful.
Yep.
What page, Matt?
73, comment 28. That's why I've been distracted, I've been reading it. It's really insightful. Person who's been here 3 years, pretty good insight.
There's your demographic shift from
Yeah.
Cambridge 3 years ago.
That looks like a candidate for the master plan committee.
Right?
Yes.
All these comments are really helpful. You said you had 400 surveys and you got 104 extra comments.
Yeah.
Lots to read through.
That is an interesting comment.
75% of the respondents don't have children.
Really?
Yeah,
They don't have what?
children.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, people aren't having kids too much anymore.
There's a lot of comments here.
I like 32.
We got a lot to read.
Yeah, I saw that. They don't make noise, do they?
What's that?
I've been here,
On the 32?
love it.
33? Page 33?
32.
Page 32.
And page 74,
No,
number 30.
question 70, answer 70. Page 74.
Oh, page 4.
Answer,
Which one?
what number?
There's some doozies in here.
32.
Yeah.
Couple of numbers.
Chapter. Gun ranges.
Like
What page is that?
74.
74.
Cable and Wi-Fi companies.
43.
I didn't know
We got a
people
few people
complained
saying
about
that.
gun ranges. I mean, where I live, I'm surrounded by Wallem Lake,
Yep.
Whiten,
Yep.
and Uxbridge Rod and Gun.
Do you
My
hear the
neighbors moved
gunshots?
in, they said, what's that pop, pop, pop all
You
week
almost don't
long?
hear anything, you know,
Oh,
because
the
you're so
gun
used to
ranges.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, at my shop, I can hear
Brown?
Oxford Rod and Gun, Whitensville
Yeah.
Rod and Gun, you know, you always know when somebody's done.
What to ask?
Yeah.
So we'll read comment 79 on page 76. I'm picking that one out because it's someone who doesn't quite understand how it works.
Which one was that, Matt?
79 on page 76.
You read too fast, I don't get that.
First thing needs to be done is,
I don't know.
oh,
read it.
sorry, I thought it said stop bringing in more business.
Ah.
Okay, I was like, okay, never mind, this was
Okay.
good. All right, but that's, I thought I read the opposite, so my bad. That's actually a good
We
comment.
did get plenty of people saying that, too, though.
Yeah.
Stop bringing in more business.
Right.
Now,
I like number 81 on page 76.
Yeah,
Nice
I'm
and
looking
simple.
at
It just says,
that. Love it.
love this town. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Number 81,
Responses here.
short and sweet.
Yeah. Don't raise taxes, 84.
Well, if I can ask through the chair, what would be a good number to see come back in the survey in a town of this size?
So we actually already reached it. We did like a calculation for statistical significance.
Yeah,
It's like Cochran's law to like figure out what the desirable sample size would be. And that was 368.
Sweet.
So we actually surpassed it, yeah.
And I bet half the town hasn't got a postcard
So we
yet.
got more than Leicester's master plan, right?
Yeah, we got more than Leicester's, which is a larger town, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
So where some of the cards didn't make it out, and I know it's an expense,
What do you mean, the postcards?
the postcard.
My mail gets so slow. I
Right, but,
mean,
so how long is this going to stay out, the survey?
Until December, right? Mid-December?
Yeah, until after
Yeah.
the workshop, because we want to make sure people at the workshop.
I'll get it.
I don't know if it'd be worth sending out a second card to try
Not
to get
yet.
people.
Not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
For those that didn't receive, been on vacation,
Yeah, give it to me.
this, that, or something else, because I'm wondering if you're getting a big hit, obviously, from the card.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
when
at the
did they
next
go
meeting. They went out well, we dropped them off at the post office early last week.
Plus it was a holiday.
Yeah, so,
Last Monday was a holiday, so.
Yeah.
so maybe
should
if
get it
y'all
by-
haven't gotten it, by the next meeting, we'll kind of reassess and maybe talk
Yeah.
about the post office or see what's going on
Yeah.
there.
Rich, through the chair, do we have a sense of how successful the last master plan was in terms of recommendations that were made, and whether they were implemented or?
Yeah, they issued a final report.
Yeah.
They tried implementing just about everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did,
We redid the
would you like an
zoning, we
email
did a lot.
copy?
I'll
Yeah, I
give
would
you a
love
copy
That
of
can do that.
I would love a copy of that.
Sure, absolutely.
It was because of that report, Paul Peterson had a lot to do with it. He's the chair of the implementation committee, so that's the second part.
Right.
Implementation committee, because he didn't want it to collect dust. They went through every recommendation. There were some that they decided weren't needed or necessary or weren't wanted anymore, but they went through every one and then published that book. And that book is what you used, and I think, Bob, you've used it too, to apply for grants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that would be helpful.
So they basically, after a few years, they like did an assessment of what's been implemented and what hasn't?
They continue, they spent a long time. I think, Carol, you were on
Yeah,
there.
we were on it for quite a few years.
More than
Yeah,
7
she-
years?
She and I, we were up right from the beginning to the end, weren't we?
It was
A lot of
really
people
long
were on
time,
and
and they went
dropped
through
off. We
everything.
stayed through it all.
All right.
They addressed every recommendation.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
yep.
Like, you've implemented every recommendation?
Not
Or-
implemented, but
Okay.
they addressed
We
it.
addressed them.
And most, I think, were wrong.
Some were completed and some were like, planning board for further study
Right.
or, passed on to another board or,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get
So, I guess maybe if there's like an assessment that came after that of like what the status of everything is currently at that point, we could do like another benchmark review of that report now to sort of update our current action items.
So do you want a copy of that emailed to you too?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
It's in the master plan share drive. I'll just
Okay.
resend the link so everyone has it.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one thing we usually do for these plans is like, we look at all the past reports, like the open space and recreation plans, MVP plans, stuff like that, and go through like every action item of all the plans and have like the responsible parties sort of communicate where things are at. So just have like as a basis for our next phase. That would be good.
So Matt, is both the original master plan and the implementation booklet, that'll be available?
Yeah, they're on the master plan SharePoint.
Okay.
I sent that link out when we first formed, but I'll send it out again.
Yeah, I'm just sort of reiterating. Thank you.
I think it's also on the website. Could be wrong. Check.
So any other comments, questions, considerations regarding the survey results? Again, we'll be revisiting this from meeting to meeting. Do you have anything else for us on that?
Not on the
Emily?
survey, just continue to put the word out about it. Yeah.
I would like to say, when I took it, I just took it today, by the way, I said, I cannot go to this meeting and not have taken the survey. Shame. And it was just so easy to get through. I thought it was so well done and written. So, thank you.
Especially scanning the QR code, just scan it.
Yep.
You come and go.
Online or did
I did online, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was on Facebook. We are Dynamic Douglas. I just hit it and off I went.
Actually, this one here, we need playgrounds, skate parks, and a park. We have all that.
So what else?
See,
do
a
you
lot
have
of people
for us?
don't even realize what
We
they have.
have much more to
Yeah, they want a rec committee, they do have a rec committee.
Master plan, 98 master.
The elementary.
plan.
Should I hand?
Okay, thank you.
I have my
I
copy.
tried skateboarding once, broke my leg.
I'll send you a
I
link.
used to skateboard down deep.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Pick up a good clip.
Yeah, I picked up a good clip, too.
Thank you.
2 seconds, I was on the ground.
No helmet, no pad.
Thank you.
Here's an open house.
Yeah, so now that the survey is out and we're kind of waiting for results to come in, responses to come in, we can begin to plan for the open house, which is in just under a month, I believe. So,
Thank you.
yeah, it's planned for November 14th, 5:30 to 8. It's kind of a drop-in style event. So we're calling it an open house because there will be kind of different stations based on the chapter elements or anything else we kind of want to focus on for this plan. So Sam and I have kind of come up with some proposals for each of the stations. So I'm just looking for feedback from you all on, we can kind of just go through these, like it's chapter element by chapter, and we'll describe kind of what we envision, what has worked in the past in other towns for master plans, and if there's anything you want to change or just any feedback you have, whether you like it or come up with a new idea. The first picture there, that's just a few pictures from some past events, just to show you kind of what this looks like. People walking around, talking to the different CMRPC staff, as well as master plan committee members. Yeah, it's always a very fun event. I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be an awesome time. Hopefully we get a great turnout.
You guys send the whole team, CMRPC?
We're going to send a lot of people, but not the whole team.
Can I ask a question on this housing thing? They got green, yellow, red. Are we going to ask people to get involved in this at this? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to bring stickers,
All right.
pins,
Yep.
tape, string, I don't know.
Yep.
It's going to be very interactive.
Okay, just wanted
So
to-
each station will be a little bit different kind
Yep,
of based on
okay.
focus. So I guess for the housing one, we actually brought the housing board with us just to show you. We didn't bring the boards. This is from Leicester, which we just did their workshop on October 3rd, so that's the most recent one. Nice. So the idea of this, here, sorry, there we go.
Yeah.
So I'll show it on online too. Okay, so the idea of this activity is you've got 10 different housing types. So you've got, single family, mid-size housing, townhouses, large-scale apartments, mixed use, just a nice mix of housing types that could potentially be built in the future. So we're trying to gauge if folks would like to see this type of housing built in Douglas in the future, if they think it's maybe an important style but not as critical, or they don't want to see this being built in the future. It's not necessary, for whatever reason. So they would put a green sticker next to the ones they really like, yellow next to ones they feel so-so about, and then a red sticker next to ones they don't like and they don't want to see built here. So you can see for this example, large-scale apartments, a lot of people in Leicester did not like that. Versus affordable housing, people like that. Accessory dwelling units, or like in-law apartments. I think there was some mixed feelings about that, but generally looked well. So I feel like it's a pretty simple activity to explain to people, but it also can generate a lot of really good discussion around this. So someone will be at the table kind of taking notes about what people are saying. And then it also has a very kind of qualitative result that we could actually use this for and create maybe a chart or something afterwards saying.
I have a thing to say. If you think that house is affordable, you haven't looked at the price of building. That is not an affordable house.
We can definitely put different pictures.
That is
in if
not
you
an
think-
affordable house.
Yeah.
Pretty though.
Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah. Well, if it's built with certain subsidies and stuff, that is what affordable housing could look like.
Yeah, it could, yeah. It's not going to happen, so be realistic on what an affordable house is, and that's not it.
Like my house.
There you go, go take a picture.
24 by 40.
We'll go take a picture of your
One
house, that's
story.
affordable.
I don't know, have you seen different communities in the region like this, Emily, that have had houses like that?
Some, Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of affordable housing that's being built is more apartments now versus single-family homes. So maybe that's a better thing to show is
But it's just way too big. It's not affordable. It's too big. It's not affordable.
Ken, you say that, but a lot of these two-story, the reason they're like that, they're only like 300 square feet per floor. So that could only be a 600 square foot house.
Not that one,
So what
by looking at it.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
But the idea is when you don't have land, you go up. So in certain residents, that is affordable housing, all right? Because that's what you can afford to build on a small tiny lot.
So that would be
It's only
like
600
VR.
square feet, maybe 700 square feet. And by looking at that bottom floor, unless that house is 50 feet deep, that's not really a very big house.
But I can just see the way that, with the construction, the way that, affordable, you build a box. If you're going out that way, you're going this way. The foundation alone is not affordable.
Yeah, but a smaller house size going up, you have less concrete. It's more affordable to build it that way than it is having a ranch.
It may
When
be
you have a ranch, you have a large basement.
A little bit more affordable. That's not an affordable house by any stretch of the imagination.
I think the bigger issue is that builders are not building affordable housing because it's not beneficial to builders to build affordable
It's
housing.
impossible. Never mind beneficial, it's impossible. That's what it comes right down to. It's impossible.
Yeah, with all the code, you gotta.
And I built affordable housing. That was my favorite thing, the best thing I ever did in my life. I met so many wonderful people, but you can't do it now. It's impossible.
So,
And
The price of the land
again,
is
to the
too high.
chair, too bad we didn't get on the survey. One good question that could have been thrown out there is, do you think the state, town, or federal government has overstretched on making housing unaffordable or unavailable to first-time homebuyers?
Yeah.
With all these new regulations being added, do you feel that this has become a burden in making housing
We
affordable?
already know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying, we know it is, but it's a question that's never really been thrown out there to see a response back.
Right, well, a lot of people
You
don't
get a
realize.
99% response back on that saying, yes, that is, well, that's then something really to look at moving forward, especially 20-year plan, when things go to town meeting for vote, you think about it. It's like, hey, everybody's saying, why are we doing this, why are we doing that, why are we passing stretch codes, why are we doing other things? Well, the community says, don't do it because you make it unaffordable, then you don't present it.
I'd like to follow up on Meg's comment in that I've heard that time and again, and I know people on planning boards from other towns. And you get the same response all the time in terms of affordable housing. It's almost an oxymoron because developers want to get the best return. They want to get the most money and the best return, and there's nothing wrong with that. So then what do? That's private. Do you go public? The state isn't stepping up. I don't know. The federal government, I don't know if they're stepping up. Is there something in between, sort of a quasi-governmental entity that could help develop high density? And we're talking about increasing the density downtown so we could have affordable housing. Is there something you could do in between there? Because if it's strictly a for-profit thing, it's not going to happen.
Right,
If
but
it's
nobody's gonna
strictly
build a house
state or
and
federal
lose money on
government,
it.
that might not happen
It
either.
has to be subsidized by the government in some way.
That's the only elements that we have that do that are 40B, where there has to be some, I think it's 20%. 20% of those units have to be affordable. The rest of them still count towards your affordable count. Or the town has a flex development bylaw, which requires you to build, 1 ADU per 10 units or something like that. But that's all we have.
Now, 40B, if I might, requires us to have at least 10% affordable housing, right? And if you look at the state data, 70, 80% of the towns don't make it.
No.
I think we're at about 5.
Yeah.
I know Hopkinton is at 12. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
And that's considered a semi-affluent town. They're at 12%. So maybe we're reinventing the wheel. How is it they do it?
And there's some pretty big apartment complexes over there in Hopkinton, going over towards Bellingham Way. I might be in the wrong place, but I think there are. That
I know
might
they
be how they're
have some
doing it.
solid industry there, too. They have really high commercial industrial tax revenue there.
I don't know.
But it's a great question, and I think it's one worthy of exploring, how to make something like that happen, instead of continually spinning our wheels as a municipality. I mean, we have an incentive, we have to meet that 10%.
Yeah.
Or someone's going to get, what do they call it, a special permit from the state.
Yeah.
And then that's it, the town's out.
But then, everybody they hear the word affordable, and they all get real worried because, I don't know if they think, it's low income. Affordable is not low income. Most of the people that work for this town qualify.
That's 150,000
Yeah.
per year.
Right.
Rough.
What is
median income
affordable?
less.
What's that?
It's less than the median income. The median income in Douglas is, I think, 75,000.
Yeah.
I think less than that's affordable.
Right.
You make
So,
less than that, you.
This is the thing, what's affordable is not,
I couldn't afford that,
no, I know.
even when I was working. There's no-
Would it be helpful to have like a poster board or something kind of clarifying some of these terms? Like, what do we mean when we say like affordable?
I think it would be great.
Programs?
Yeah.
What-
Yeah.
yeah. What income,
I think that would really
Yeah.
be,
I think that would help a lot.
yes.
A board right near this.
Yeah.
It says, the median income, like, I just learned that it was around 75. I wonder how many people in the town know the median income and what the definition of affordable housing is.
Right.
And then what it can translate to, on this board.
and when they say affordable, they say, okay, and I'm just using some numbers, okay? You gotta be making under 60,000 a year. Well, there's another little window. You gotta be making enough to pay for it too. So it's not, if you're making $20,000 a year or $10,000 a year, you're not getting in there. So there's kind of a area there. But I think people need to know what it is, what affordable is, and it's probably themselves or their children that can't afford to live in this town.
And maybe even what happens if we don't meet our threshold. Because I'm sure a lot of people don't understand that either.
I don't think the state's cracked down on any towns that haven't met the threshold yet. No one's really come after any communities because we're all trying.
Right.
We're all doing our best. You can't just bring in housing. It doesn't work like that. People either come here or they don't.
Yeah, you can't force people to come in and build in your town.
Right.
I have a question. One of the houses, pictures over there was for ADU. And
Detached.
does that explain what that abbreviation means there?
Accessory dwelling units. See it up above, it
And yeah,
says
it
it.
says accessory dwelling units right there.
Oh,
And that'll be changing with the new
but for
regs,
somebody who has no clue what that
Right,
is.
right.
with the new
Yeah.
mandated regulations.
When's that coming?
There should be a no.
February.
February, it's probably,
You should have a choice.
no.
Our bylaw's on for town meeting. So,
Yeah.
But a lot of people like
good.
that.
Oh,
That one got a lot of.
Sure they will.
lot.
That's going to cause a lot of problems.
All right.
Building code?
Water sewer
Yep.
department,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
big time.
Where were we?
Do we feel good about that as like an activity?
Yeah.
See what you started with that?
I shouldn't have started with housing.
No, it's a good conversation though, but we can, we're off.
Definition for it.
When do we get the lawn job?
Yeah, I will definitely put that together. Yeah, because I mean, for this is an opportunity for us to relay important information to the town as well, not just, get them to tell us things. So I think, yeah, any information we can share would be great.
Another question. Now, that ADU, it doesn't say how big the parcel has to be or anything. It just says that another building on the same parcel. But
Yeah,
I only have 1 acre. Does that mean I can build an ADU and
Yes, you can.
rent it out?
Yep.
Now you will be able to with the new regs.
You will.
As long as it's
By
within
right.
setbacks.
And it can
You
be
meet the
part of the
setback
house, or it can be
requirements.
detached.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
That's exciting.
Income.
It's changing, it's going to be
Well,
changing real fast.
The other thing, though, is it's can only be a certain percentage. It has to be a certain percentage of what's already there.
Yeah. Can't
Yeah, or
be-
900
plenty
square
of-
feet, whichever's
Yeah.
less.
No, the size of the unit.
Yeah,
But your house is what, probably 1,000 square feet?
950.
950.
So it
You're
would
not
have
going to
to
be
be
able to
half.
build a 900 square foot
No, it'd be
ADU.
half.
It's half of
Oh,
your
it would
square
have to be small.
footage
It'd be small, yeah.
or up to 900 square
Right.
feet
Right.
Yeah,
is the new reg.
that's plenty big enough.
Yeah.
Sorry, Emily?
Yeah,
You were saying?
if we're good on housing, and we can always come back to something, but I just want to see if we can get through these. Next, I had economic development. So we've had actually a couple options here that we've used in the past. So I was kind of curious how we want to kind of steer this activity and conversation. So the first one.
Well, so the two opportunities, or the two options are on the next two pages.
Yeah.
Just want to point that out.
Thank you. I was like, yeah, we don't have page numbers on these.
Yeah.
Shoot them.
Yeah, we know what SWOT analysis is, right?
Yeah.
Good.
So this.
Focuses on
SWOT
economic.
analysis- Oh, so this would break it out by different kind of core economic development areas, but I just wasn't sure, and this was from Leicester, I believe, where they have a lot of different sections of the town where there's, various kinds of businesses. I wasn't sure if that's something that would kind of apply to Douglas. I mean, you have like the downtown, you have like kind of a more, like the East Douglas, like more industrial area. Are there other areas where there's like concentrations of businesses, or like there's like a village center, or is it really just kind of your downtown?
Our downtown is pretty much.
This is it.
Downtown, you got the center, you could probably throw in like some of our recreational stuff, like State Forest or Wallam Lake,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, the common is a nice area, we talked about.
Okay.
Right, we don't want to see any economic development in the common. We do not want to see any economic development
I
in the
think we're
common.
limited by infrastructure.
Yeah. It's really
Yeah.
the industrial zones
Yeah.
in northeast Douglas and downtown. That's really it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Economic development, through the chair,
Davis Street.
depends, take Davis Street. There
Yeah.
is no infrastructure up Davis
Yeah.
Street, yet you've got a lot of businesses, including yours.
And believe it or not, that was supposed to be the phase one.
That was supposed to be by phase two, and now that's been replaced.
Back in the
That's phase
70s,
three.
that was supposed to run the water and sewer
Yeah.
for business. It hasn't happened.
It's designed, and we've got 3 years to get it in.
Yeah.
But so it depends what type of economic development. These large warehouses, we have no choice but to run infrastructure to them.
Yeah.
They just couldn't survive without it.
Right.
But many businesses, I mean, O'Leary's, they're expanding.
Yeah.
With no water sewer
Right.
service, town water sewer service.
Not many employees, so they
Right.
can do it.
I mean, you get small buildings, like the ones that I have down at Picnic Point. I use more water in one two-bedroom duplex than I do all four of those buildings combined.
I believe it.
You know, people don't go to do their laundry or take showers or
No.
anything. They don't use much water and sewer. It depends most businesses today are not water users, so, not like the old mills that were producing
They
things.
just need it for fire protection on a lot of them. They
That's
need
true.
water.
Once it gets a certain
That's where the water
size,
comes
that's
from.
where it comes. When it gets a certain size, you need to have sprinklers.
Yeah.
That's where you need the water.
So what questions do we want to ask? We're looking to structure this. How can we glean what
So-
information we're looking for that would be helpful?
So that's what I was trying to actually ask you guys. So there's kind of two different options here. So one could be a SWOT analysis, so strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats of the different areas, and just ask people, kind of prompt them with certain questions to jot down notes on that. The second is, I think that would be another sticker activity, I believe. So they would put a sticker next to the types of improvements they would want to see in the kind of commercial corridor areas. So if someone thinks the downtown should be more walkable, or they want to see a grocery store, they would put a sticker next to each area. So I'm kind of curious which way you're kind of leaning.
Would it be beneficial to ask people what type of business they would like to see? Like a gym, or a grocery store, or a pharmacy, or just so we know what people really would like to see as a business?
Use information from the surveys.
I'm sure everybody would like to see a grocery store. Unfortunately, probably not going to happen for a long time. Or a pharmacy, get another thing, it's not
But
going
it'd
to
be
happen.
nice to know what people
Oh, yeah.
would like to see.
I'd love to have one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but in terms of communication and being visually attractive, do we think that the second one would be most appropriate? And we just add on those things that we want to see on there, Ross, as you listed?
I think so.
So the thing is, like, if the economic development we want to be focused in the downtown, another activity that we've done at other surveys focusing on like town common areas or at other workshops, focusing on town common areas, because we've had other workshops where we've like paired a town center plan with the master plan. So we've had a town center like table, and one activity that we had there was we had like a visual of the town center, and people would put different stickers on the town center. They're like cutouts, or I'm not sure exactly how they made the stickers, but they would just like literally put on the sort of visual of the downtown where they'd like to see those things pop up. So that's like, it's kind of a variation of this activity with like a geographic addition to it, so they can sort of like pinpoint exactly where you'd like to see things on the town common.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that combines kind of the what you'd like to see and the where you'd like to see it.
Yeah, exactly. So in this case, we could do it for the downtown. Since that's like for these ones, we had like different options for corridors, but since we're only focusing on the downtown, we could just have a visual of the downtown. We'll make a better looking map than the one I put out in the survey.
Would we want to do something around zone, where things are allowed, like zoning wise?
We do have a land use, the next one was land use, where,
Because if we're limited to where we can put things
Right.
towards the downtown where there is infrastructure and things are zoned
Land use.
in these areas.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, a question, are we just focusing on the downtown? I mean, it seems we would have, the Gilboa Street, Lackey Dam area, and then also Davis Street on the other side, so maybe 3
Right.
separate areas for economic development.
Yeah, residential.
Or is it just the downtown we're talking about?
I think we should look at Davis
we should
Street,
look at
that's
them
for
all,
sure.
actually.
Yeah, I think so,
Whatever
yeah.
becomes appropriate,
Yeah, Gilboa, Davis,
Yeah.
and downtown.
I mean, our
Right.
downtown is kind of,
How about like
it
where
is what it is.
Yeah, right.
You know, we can't make the road wider, we can't stuff any more buildings in between other buildings, but we can pretty it up a little bit, I guess, but.
how about like where the highway barn is, the area there? I mean, that has water.
Yeah, I mean, you've got,
I mean, that's not RA,
That's also in the aquifer zone.
so you could put retail.
Yeah, that's true.
I think the whole town's in the aquifer.
what about,
Yeah.
what about
Get right down to it.
Hughes Pit? I mean, there's quite a bit
Yeah.
of land there.
It still is.
Well,
yeah.
that's all.
Of course, I think it's all solar now, which is probably tied up for the next 40 years.
But like I mean, do these areas already have like all the infrastructure that they would need?
There's water going up around.
We just learned that today,
Yeah,
going to the highway barn.
Like Bob was saying, heading up Davis Street, we've got a small industrial park that's getting started up there that can really turn into something.
right, that's right, yeah.
Beneficial, and especially if it gets services up that end.
200 acres behind the
Yeah.
church.
Yeah, that can boom.
If you
know?
include the piece to Uxbridge, there's 250 acres. That's a sizable piece. Now, it's a
Yeah.
lot of rock,
Yeah.
a lot of ledge, but ledge is valuable.
It is now.
Can be
What
crunched and
church?
Used for lots of
They-
stuff.
Across from his.
It used to be the,
Where is his place? I don't
Heading
know.
up past
It was
the high school
Jehovah's Witness
towards
Church.
Uxbridge.
Oh, the
Route 16.
Jehovah.
yeah.
That church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that, is it still that? I don't know.
I don't
what it
think
is
so.
now.
I think
So
Yeah.
in terms of economic development, want to see, we should add downtown, such as
Yeah, yeah, that area.
Davis Street,
Definitely, yeah.
Centerville, or whatever we want to call it. Used to be Centerville, where the fire station is.
Where's that?
Where the fire station
Oh,
is.
okay.
Yeah.
Is it the same as
Centerville,
Davis Street?
Yeah.
No,
Centerville, or is it two separate places?
it's west of here.
Okay.
Yeah,
We may not want to call it Centerville, whatever you want to call
that
it.
is zoned commercial.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got
That'd be
Gilboa Street,
retail.
downtown, Davis Street, and Centerville?
Centerville/Rydell Road,
Yeah.
people would recognize Rydell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people know what it is.
Yeah.
Main
Our
Street.
transfer station and everything's out there too.
Call
Yeah.
it Main Street and Rydell Road.
And importantly, an ice cream stand.
That's right.
that place is not.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, the ice cream
Very
lady, oh,
busy.
it's always going, yep.
What about out on 16?
Well,
That's zone
part of
industrial,
16.
right?
What part of
The end-
16?
the end going into Webster, but most of that's state forest.
We had a huge industrial area, but then the state took it for state forest.
Yeah. Exactly. and all of it's landlocked, for the most part.
Okay.
Well, not what they took.
Yeah,
They took the good stuff.
they did.
Well, northwest part of town is industrial, right? And that's pretty much no man's land.
Yeah, all the
That's true.
Emerson Smith land,
Yeah.
which,
The town has a good piece up there too, past use, same side.
Yep. Yep.
well, the two that are there, Andy's developed, he's got his 93 Cliff Street where Pine's going to be relocating. And then right on Webster
yeah.
Street, he's got his outdoor storage.
Yep.
So those are already done. So I think we got those 4 areas that makes the most sense. Northeast, Gilboa Street, Davis Street, downtown. Are folks going to know what Centerville is?
No.
No, but we're going to
Okay.
qualify, we call it whatever we want.
Main Street and Rydell Road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Main Street right down.
Here,
Yeah.
fire station area.
Fire station, yeah.
Yeah.
So across the street is zoned commercial, but I know there is a perennial stream that makes development over there virtually impossible.
They can always be crossed.
Nothing's impossible if you want to engineer it.
Hey, they crossed the.
Yeah, that's Centerville
Massachusetts
Brook.
Mill.
Especially if you need it.
Yeah.
They crossed.
So Matt,
That's
we
right,
have
that's right.
Gilboa,
Yeah, they-
Davis.
the cubes, yeah.
Downtown, and sort of where the fire highway
the-
department
Yeah.
is.
Because
Main
the-
Street and Rydell
It's in there.
Road.
Did you know that?
No,
I can remember
Right
it.
now is the
no
key.
way.
Yeah. It's in there. The buckets were still
Now,
there.
people don't know where Rydell is. Do we use fire station?
Yeah,
Fire
yeah, I
station?
think we I think it's important to communicate where this is, so fire
Yeah, and we can
highway.
print out a map or something and circle the areas.
Yeah.
Something like that,
Yeah.
visually show.
I kind of like the second economic development one.
Yeah.
You put the 4 columns headers there
Yeah.
with the items on the left-hand side. We just need to decide which items we want to put there.
And we have to consider the audience. We want it to look attractive, we want it to be doable, understandable for people going from table to table to table, not too complicated.
Make it easy,
you know,
Yeah.
enjoyable.
A good visual aid, if you will.
All right, we'll put something together with those 4 areas and, yeah, modify that.
I noticed, like, you've got economic development, but there's not really anything in this for, like, kids. I mean, except maybe the walkability. They're not going to the grocery store. They're not going to the restaurant. Retail.
Spending money, these kids.
Yeah, kids don't have money to spend.
Well, I'm not talking like a place to hang out, but
That'd be the entertainment
what do
piece,
kids
right?
do nowadays? Yeah.
Play
theater.
You could have
on
these spots to
computers.
hang out in
That's
economic
true.
development.
That's all they do.
Place to look at your iPad.
Yeah.
The iPad Cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quieter than the
You build a
library.
Starbucks, they'll come.
Yeah, and for something like this, we can also have like sticky notes available. So if people want to put like sticky notes saying, just to kind of support their answers for something, we can have that available. So if people say, yes, entertainment, but focused on kids, then we could have that as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
All right, that's good.
Any other thoughts?
What's next?
Next is land use. Let me remind myself. Okay, so if you go forward, kind of flip the next page, the part that looks like this. The red outlines. So this activity incorporates, we've got different colored kind of pins. So different colors will be associated with the different land uses. So we've got multifamily housing, restaurants, convenience stores. We can also modify, this was for Leicester, so we can also modify these categories. Active recreation, so people would take a pin and place it somewhere on the map where they think it should either be added or improved, I guess.
I like
Is that a
it.
good description of it?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, they can use sticky notes to write more like specific comments.
I like it.
Now, the map's going to have all the street names.
The major street names, yeah. We could add little symbols, like for like the town hall or downtown or like fire station, things like that, to kind of help orient people as well.
Landmarks, yeah.
Yeah, landmarks, yeah.
Yeah, we do a similar activity for the open space chapter. And I guess, yeah, they just didn't do it for the land use map, but for the open space one, we had like actual pictures of different landmarks that they could use as like reference points on the map. But it's, yeah, it's basically the same activity for the open space chapter too.
Will you have kind of color-coded where things can't be used, like state forest area? There's a lot of state forest in this town. So I think it would probably be good to narrow people's ability to add things in certain places if you know that they're never going to be able to be used for that.
Yeah,
you know?
you can't put a movie theater in the state park.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is a place for a lot of good passive recreation.
Yeah, sure. And if there was something in the category that they could, then that would be fine. I guess I just wouldn't want people to start putting pins in state forest areas.
Right.
You know
That's a good place for the grocery store, right?
Exactly, right?
Water park.
Right. Six Flags.
Go out and shoot your own deer.
We need a butcher shop.
There you go.
We used to have one. We used to have two, I think.
Yeah, we
We
did.
like that one, though, that land use style.
Yeah, I think so. I like that.
Transportation.
But yeah, maybe we can have like a zoning map or something on the side
Yeah.
with some explanation, something like that.
Yeah, land that's just not able to be developed
Yeah.
from its current use.
Yeah.
It will
Come
never
up
be
with-
changed.
Yeah.
Land that is, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And
Maybe you just put on state forest. That's what it is. People may as well know what it is. It's the
Yeah.
state forest.
where it all is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Put a bowling alley on the snack trail.
yeah, right.
Flat.
You're right.
Yeah, so for transportation, it's a SWOT analysis, but instead of breaking it up into different locations, we broke it up into different categories of transportation issues. So like strengths, you can talk about the strengths of public transportation, road infrastructure, resurfacing roads, bicycle infrastructure, et cetera. And then you can do the same for weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And what people would do is they would write down whatever they want to talk about on sticky notes and then place it in one of the respective boxes. And then like what you end up having is like a flip book of sticky notes for each of the boxes. And because, you know, sticky notes could fall off, we usually like place pins so that they're held in place under each category.
I like all of these.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there a high demand for equestrian travel
Oh,
on our main roads?
This is the equestrian queen over here, she'll tell you.
Not really on the main, I don't think they want to be on
Used to
the
be.
main.
Yeah, yeah, but you still know all about it.
I do. I rode
I don't
everywhere.
really know.
I rode my horse
I mean,
down
they're on the,
Yeah,
6 miles.
Private roads.
yeah, some private roads to get to the, through a lot of the forest and up and down the
Yeah, they have access to the state forest, right?
railroad tracks.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, quite a few places where they access the state forest.
I guess there's a large equestrian group in Douglas, right?
Yeah.
The Bay State trip.
Bay State, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that goes to transportation, I was just curious.
Yeah, I don't think they're using it for transportation.
All right. No one's getting around that way anymore?
That would be cool.
Cool.
We're gonna get the police officer back now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, oh, yeah, those big crowds trying to get into the pizza place.
Yeah, right.
All right. That one looks good.
Yeah, so we're good with transportation?
Yeah.
All right.
And again, the open space is the same as land use, where people can place pins for where they'd like to see the things in like different categories. So like there's like trails, where they want to see trails pop up, where they want to see important, or maybe if they want to make note of like an important natural, cultural, or historic resource somewhere in town, they can place a pin down for it. Where they'd like to see more ADA accessibility, more maintenance, beautification, all these different categories regarding open spaces.
What do we have?
You know, when you talk,
What do we have for these? We have State Forest, the SNAT, we have the Martin Road ball fields.
right,
They're public. We have the soccer field off of Main.
yep, down behind the old school.
And then what?
Soldier
Well,
Field?
we have the
Soldiers Field?
Soldier
the
Field.
Mumford Street property. No, this is open space.
Yeah.
Not
Right. Oh, it's in natural resource.
And then the, on
Yeah, but it could
Manchog
be
Road,
athletic fields too.
Yeah, 'cause I just saw some on here, the Rochdale Park is a
and
basement.
then off of Southeast Main, the Keven property, that's 60 acres.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to develop that, some trails in there,
okay.
open space.
When you talk about the open space and everything, is there any way that on these maps you can, I mean, they have maps of all the trails that go up through the Douglas State Forest. I think the state has all kind of maps and trails. And maybe if that could be shown so that people know where they are, where they are.
Yeah.
I think when you mentioned the State Forest, that should be on this map also to show
Oh, right, and show
how big
all
of
the
an area
trails.
it is, and if there is a state map available.
Yeah, right.
Maybe have that as a
It-
sidebar.
bring it in or somehow,
Next to
right,
it.
right.
To show this is the State Forest, and this is all the trail work that's already in the State Forest,
I mean, I've lived in
so everybody knows.
this area my whole life, and I just recently were able to get out to where the Big Phil is. I never knew that that existed. It is awesome,
What's the Big Phil?
awesome.
I don't know where that is. The old.
And we'll take you down on the Big Phil, too.
Well, yeah, because that's not that far.
No, it's not that far off the road, no.
Where is it?
So,
It's
Off
on
of
the road
Southwest Main.
going towards Thompson, Connecticut. It's it was a railroad that never, ever was finished.
The money went down on the Titanic.
Titanic.
Well, the money didn't actually go down on the Titanic.
Is it the Grand Trunk Trail?
And the story in the placard is all on the Route 16, when you,
Right.
before Webster. It's the whole story about how that all came about.
Right.
On the rail trail.
And it goes quite a ways.
The guy that had gone to Europe to try to raise more funds, because they kept having trouble raising funds for this thing, he went down on the Titanic.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the money with him.
Yeah.
so if we were to put 6 places on this list, we put the SNAT, the Keven property, Wallem Park, what else?
Okay,
Well, it
so
was in the map for the survey.
Yeah,
the pictures that are used
State
as like waypoints,
yeah.
those don't have to be open space lands. Those are just like
Right.
places that are like everybody would kind of know and be able to
Yeah.
use to find their place in town.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, so they could put a pin anywhere? Like,
No.
in town? They have to put it at one of those 6, like,
So the 6 places are just waypoints to find your place in the map. The categories are going to have pins in them that are
We
color-coded.
got 100 acres here.
And they're going to use the color-coded pins to
Pictures of
sort of place in the map where they'd like to see those things in the boxes go.
7.
But the waypoint images are just to find their place in town.
I see, okay. so maybe it's-
Yeah.
And that's where,
Yeah, we
so-
We have all of that.
and that's why it's so important to have
amazing.
all the forests and everything listed to show
Right.
that how much is the park, how much area there is.
Right, and how
A
many,
lot of this may be new to people, so you want to
Correct.
straight
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Especially on how vast it really is.
oh, it's huge.
And there are
You
trails.
know,
Oh, it trails
All
all the way,
north of
all
16.
over the place.
There's parking on 16, right?
Right.
Yep.
What?
Well,
Well, not really, it's like kind of,
depends.
I bet
It should be,
Cedar Street.
like it's,
Yeah.
During COVID,
yeah.
they were parked up and down on both sides of 16. People, and I was saying, yep, they're not going to get COVID, but they're all going to have Lyme disease.
The worst parking, I think, for any of the state forests is right across from the causeway. Right when you get off the causeway on the right.
Wallace.
That is so horrible. They're on both sides of the road.
Yep.
You can't get off the road because people, and I don't blame them, they bring their kayaks and all that kind of stuff, which is great. They're going to the lake. It's horrible. It's on the weekends,
Right.
you can't get through there sometimes.
Well, part of it too is when you go up there, it's the biggest beaver dam you ever saw in your life.
It isn't that, the idea is though, you could make, you go up the street where the horse trailers pull in,
Right.
there's a parking lot.
Right,
Do the same thing at the bottom of the road. So
Right.
people can get off the road,
right.
What's the name of the causeway?
the causeway. Where is it?
Well, yeah, what causeway?
White and
It's
Reservoir.
Whiting Reservoir.
Oh, Whiting
It's called the
Reservoir.
causeway.
Okay.
So maybe
Maybe that's a good reference.
That's the biggest, worst
People really
area
need
for
a tour.
parking.
So maybe as one of the options for improvements, we could
Yes,
say.
I think, I think they call it Wallace.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, well,
So I don't think that's
the
listed.
big hurdle there, Mike, is you're dealing with Concom.
You have to cut
They're
down
within
quite a bit
100
of
feet
trees.
buffer.
Yeah,
But it's state.
it's state,
It's, the state can, that's all state land.
state forest. Yep.
What's more important, someone
The state can sometimes, DCR can go,
hitting the road?
for the safety of the residents and people of the area,
Right, that should
we're gonna make a gravel parking lot.
Right.
I
be
mean,
at least 100 feet in.
they are the state, and they own it,
Yeah.
so they could fix it. And it's not getting better.
There's parking for the SNET on South Street, right?
Yes, there is.
Right? I'm just trying to think of waypoints in Douglas so people know where they are.
I think there's some at the end of.
And there's one at the end of Depot Street.
Depot Street, right.
So those could be two fixed points for references on here. Maybe you put the water slides as one, right?
Yeah, as a reference point.
Wallen Park as another. And I'm trying to find something that's a little part of southeastern Douglas, but it's not a whole lot to go by.
What was the first thing you mentioned before water slides?
The parking for the SNET,
Okay.
South Street and the Depot Street.
And when you're on the Thompson Road, where they call it Southwest Main Street, when you're on that, that's pretty wide. And you usually can pretty well easily park on the side of the
Yeah.
road to go walk in the woods and stuff. And there's, like I said, there's some nice trails down there.
I don't know if there's really any points of reference in southeastern Douglas. There's really nothing.
It's all forest.
Right.
Pick a tree.
I mean, what do we do? Like Orange Street and
Which
Scenic
one do you
Road?
want?
Like, what do I put? I mean, there's really nothing there.
There's nothing.
Douglas. I don't think I have any
I
idea.
mean, Betancourt's land, it's all, you know, whatever he's going to do to it. Castletop? What the hell is that?
There used to be a school down there.
Yep,
Oh, okay.
Not in my lifetime.
and the curtains in the windows had tassels.
Yeah, yeah.
That was the reason.
I never heard of that.
There's
Yeah,
also
Listed
Quaker
on our
Church
zoning
and
map for
everything
some
down
reason.
there. Yeah,
So you got the Wallam,
Cemetery.
yeah,
the South Street there.
Corner of Pine.
And you could do like,
yeah.
I don't know, the State Forest on Route 16, possibly.
There was something on that. There was some type of building when I was a kid there, but I can't.
And then, oh, what would be another one?
Well,
Soldier Field, maybe?
What's that?
the Mumford Street
Oh,
property.
Yeah, that's a
And then across the Manchog Road, Mary Lynn Doobie property, there are signs there that
Mm-hmm.
are dedicated to, and there is parking on both of those.
Is the Mumford one the Keven property?
No, Mumford Street is right on, heading towards Manchog.
It's on the
And
right hand, right there by
That's-
the intersection.
dedicated to Leon Mazinski.
Yeah.
Right.
That has trails and parking. And the Mary Lynn Doobie property
Gotcha.
was a big field that went to the Mumford. It was access to the
Parcel
Mumford River.
119-5. That'd be a good reference point. Covers both.
And the Keven property does have trails. I guess Open Space is trying to,
Just trying to get like 6 points that kind of encompass the entire area, you know? So I got the SNET, South Street entrance and the Depot Street, so that's 2. I put the Keven property on here. Where is that?
off of South
Okay,
East
that's
Main.
also off south, it's off southeast?
Southeast Main, yeah.
Southeast
So
Main.
that's probably halfway down to,
That's like heading towards the Douglas Orchard.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great place.
Oh, okay. Right there.
Locust Street is right around the corner.
All right. I don't really have, okay. It gives us something in southeastern.
well, the Douglas Orchard, that's another thing.
Yeah,
It's kind of
Yeah.
nice in town.
Yeah, let's do
Like,
that.
I know where that is.
Let's do that instead of the Keven property. That's
Yeah,
probably good.
people know it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't park at the Keven.
Old
not yet.
Rawson Farm?
We're working on
And then, so I got South Street, Depot Street, Douglas Orchard, Wallem Lake Park. That's 4. And then the Route 16 trails, I guess, just as a reference point, just so people know where the state forest is.
Like Streeter Trail and...
And then the Mumford parcel that we just talked about, 116-5. Those 6 reference
What
points.
what about the railroad
Snap.
snip?
Yeah,
Oh, you
I got
that.
2 of those,
Okay.
the South Street parking and the Depot.
Oh, okay, yep.
So that gives us 6 reference points that kind of draw a big circle around town, I guess.
Cool. That's great.
Just need pictures, I guess.
So Mumford Street, is it 116-5 or 119-5? Because I heard both.
It is.
119?
It is. Oh, 119-5, sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
And the Maryland Doobie property off of Manchog Road has access to the Mumford.
That might be the one I'm looking at here.
Oh,
That's, covers both Manchog and Mumford Street.
well, Mumford Street, they're 2 separate. They're not close to each other either.
Now, this parcel seems to touch both.
Oh,
I don't know which one this is.
How large is that property, Lynn?
Which
It
one?
is,
Maryland Doobie.
it's,
10 acres? And it
No,
also
it's
butts
bigger.
more acreage that the town owns.
I see.
That's how it
Oh.
was split up.
No.
The developer did it that way.
yeah. This was donated by the Roman
Could they,
Catholic
could
bishop.
they access, like with a canoe? Could you go on the Mumford with a
Yep.
canoe over there?
Mike, you see, no, it even put a picnic table down
Really?
there. The Mumford River's right there.
Oh, wow.
So are we good with that
Maybe we'll have
list,
to take a
everybody?
walk up there someday, you and me. How's that?
Okay,
That'll
thank you.
look big.
Bring your bum.
Probably all overgrown.
Gas spray.
Sorry.
Overgrown, yeah,
Just
that's
describe that
probably-
one.
When
That's
I was
a-
on Concom, we used to have somebody come in and mow it.
Oh,
It was like
okay.
4 acres.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's too bad.
And that, it was a...
Okay.
Yeah.
So for history and culture, this table, we've had mixed success doing different types of activities. Like we would provide, one activity that we did in the past was we provided photos of historic sites in town that were like listed on like brochures and stuff for the town, and gave people an opportunity to talk about like where they saw like options for improvements or like different recommendations for the sites, or like just speak on like what the site means to them. Another thing we did was we had we gave folks a map to point out where they thought historic sites were in town.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, but we've run into the issues in the past because it seems like as much as people value historic preservation in the town, it's less easy to point out like where they think there are notable historic areas in town that they personally want to see protected. Some options for activities that we came up with this time that we think might be good would be to just to give people more of an option of just providing like general sentiments about historic areas or be specific with it. We could just do another SWOT analysis where people talk about the different strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that they see toward like regarding historical and cultural resources in town. Another thing that I thought might be good would be to provide like a timeline of Douglas. Different notable events that have happened through history, and have people like sort of point out where they specifically find like a specific point in time interesting that maybe we could bring attention to when we do like maybe like story trails or other like try to call attention or emphasize historic areas in town. We should sort of look for things from those different points of time that people found to be like the most interesting or intriguing or engaging.
There is a book written by Lucius Marsh, written in 1959. He was a town clerk for many years, and it's not a published book. There's a copy at the library. I actually have a copy. And it has so much history of Douglas in it.
Okay.
And it's like 200 pages. There's no maps in it. but it's a house by house of every street in Douglas, who lived there, the families that lived there, the previous families that lived there, and it's actually entertaining. Like Crazy Alice lived in the house. Oh, yeah, stuff like that. Or somebody's son with a renowned painter, you know, things like that. There is a copy at the library. Is that what you're looking for?
Well, do we have like an active historical commission or somebody that I could just
Yeah.
talk to, like that would be able to give me like a timeline?
They
like,
just,
from
they
their
just had a
experience?
presentation on Douglas from the beginning, just,
Oh, at the Historical
At the
Society?
Historical Society.
Well, the Historical Commission, one of the members is actually the historian for the library. And she has all those archives down there. There were pictures. I think her first name's Rebecca.
do you think that that was recorded, that thing the other night? Or the other day?
Oh, I doubt it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
that's
didn't go.
too bad.
Yeah.
'Cause it would have been nice to put on cable access.
Well, that's a Jenks store.
Right, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Jenks store is our one historically registered building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, see, a lot of people in the survey were saying like, yeah, they'd like to see that specifically preserved, but I guess they didn't know that it was preserved.
Yeah.
It's actually not part of the town. It's its own entity.
Okay.
They don't receive funding from the town.
Yeah, it's a 501c3 nonprofit.
Oh, okay.
It's right at the bottom of the street.
Is it like a museum too then, or?
It is.
Yeah.
It's on the Federal Historic. I think.
So yeah, maybe we could just do like a mix of the two activities, like have a SWOT analysis along with like a timeline to sort of, like if there's people that, because I'm sure like some of the people would like to speak more on the history, or they do care more about like the history in town, they would be more interested in like doing the timeline activity, but then some other people would just like to like express their, where they think they're like, you know, like just do a SWOT analysis activity if they just have more general statements.
I
So
kind
think-
of would like to see people, if there could be historic things that none of us even know about.
Yes.
You know, that certain people know about it, you know, like Lafayette's Well, who knows where that is, and, you know, Hiram Walker was born here in Douglas.
So include a map too then, so people
Well,
can point out
I
stuff.
would just like, if there are other people who may know something that none of us know about, certain historical things.
Have a question that asks them
Yeah.
if there's something in town.
If they know of any.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah,
Little flyer things where people could write down
yeah, right,
a story or a fact.
right, right.
So we actually, we basically have exactly that, like, an option for people to just write down what, like, untold histories of Douglas there are.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can, phrase it in kind of a fun way.
Oh, it's the same
What
thing.
what would you like to share?
Bigger.
I don't know.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
untold
we get some fun
history.
responses.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, there are older buildings that are just not recognized as being historic by most people, like the First and Second Congregational Churches. They're both easily a couple hundred years
I throw
old.
all money
Right.
this way.
They're important to the community.
They are, they're
We wanna
beautiful.
pursue.
Yeah, and they are historic, actually.
Nice. Okay, thanks.
So you're thinking the timeline, and then with these also, might be a good thing to do?
Yeah, timeline, one of those. Do you guys want a SWOT analysis too? We could throw that in there, but it might be overburdening them.
I mean, we're doing SWOT for transportation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, we would save it for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of have a thought, like at the workshop or something, perhaps we could set up a place where if anybody wanted to write in some of this historical stuff that they know, you know, they could go, instead of having it, they could go home on their computer and just email it. If we gave them a place where they could do that, there are probably people who would like to have a little time to sit down and write things that they know, and,
What do you know about Douglas?
right,
Yeah.
right.
Like to share.
Would you like to
Oh, that
share?
could be
And then-
They have that little black book at home
But,
with all the old secrets.
right,
Yeah, there's a lot of
And
stories
have
out
an
there.
email address.
an email address where they could send it in.
5 generations
Yeah.
plus. the-
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot
That
of
wasn't in the
historians, if you
survey,
will.
anything like that.
No,
Email.
Historic
Yeah,
sites.
but maybe the
Right.
QR code is like,
Submission
what?
survey thing. Yeah.
Like we could just leave one of our cards.
Yeah, that too. I'll put my cards.
Yeah.
Well, on this suggestion thing, you could probably put, if you want to take home
Oh, that's a good idea.
email so-and-so.
Yeah.
Take one with
And
the-
email us thoughts or anything, and they could sign it, or they didn't have to sign it. If they wanted to be anonymous, send it in, they can, if they want
Or
to
if
put
you
their name
know of
on
a
it.
historical site.
Right.
Yeah.
Or any historical, I come across some stuff where the place where there was quicksand, and a woman almost died in the quicksand. Who would know that?
Right.
Now, where
I
did they put
I
that?
like the idea of, what do you know about Douglas?
Right.
You know, that's something might catch folks' attention, and I think you might also really be able to engage the Historical Society, which is probably a great source for a lot of that stuff, obviously. But that, I mean, could you have a suggestion? I mean, a question out there? You know, what do you know about Douglas? What stories?
That
Right.
You hate to lose them, you
Bill
know?
and.
Could you invite members of the Historical Society to come to the,
Sure.
Maybe they could host that.
to this, yeah?
They could help too.
They could be available for questions, or,
There's a lot of history in Douglas, people don't
Yeah,
know.
that'd be so
Sure.
cool.
Like the fact that we once had a Ku Klux Klan in Douglas.
Oh,
I bet
wow.
you most people don't know that.
No, I didn't.
I've got a plaque.
Oh, yeah.
In a barn.
There's a tidbit.
Pretty sure in Upton, we had a Ku Klux Klan member be one on the select board for a few years. In Upton.
Well, there aren't any Klansmen here now.
Right,
Talking
right.
How do you know?
This is way in the past.
Oh, well,
How do you know,
that's-
Carol?
I don't know, you got that white sheet anyway?
I got a Douglas axe. I do have that.
It's the Historical Society President, Shirley Mazinski, and that's her email.
All right, thanks.
That'd be helpful.
But the Historical Commission also has a lot of information that's separate. That's
Okay.
town.
It's a town entity, yeah.
Sure, Lisa will know some stuff too.
There's a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
Shirley's
Yeah.
got-
There is.
Shirley's the one, yeah.
Lisa should be.
And you need the good and the bad. It's all
Even
part
how
of
the
it.
town was.
I'm thinking Shirley can put one on the
Right, right.
So should we be reaching out to the Historical
How
Commission
we
to
got
be
the
on the
name.
table
And then-
rather than the
he never did
society?
send the money.
Do you think it matters?
Do we have a preference in terms of, you're talking about one of the other manning a table?
Yeah, manning manning this table with us.
Okay, so Historic Society versus Historic Commission. Which?
Well, the Ian Jenks store is more about the Ian Jenks store. They're not about really the town
Yeah, the history
history
of town.
Yeah,
So what is that, the commission or
commission.
that's the commission?
no, they're the society.
There's,
So I think we're leaning
Well,
towards
the
the
Jenks
commission.
store is a historical
I
society.
say we bring them both in. Well, they're not like,
May want to.
Will they get along?
of course they get along. I don't think, of course they get
Might be the
along.
same people.
Yeah, some of them are the same.
No, they're all different.
But
It'd be
they get
It's gonna be a
along.
wild night.
One in this room, one in another
No,
room.
no, they get along.
Separated by rooms.
Let's go for it.
we just mute their mics.
We had to close it down.
One here, one in the gym.
Plain and pepperoni. Right, one end to the other.
Anything
Okay,
else?
what do we have next? Oh, this one is fun.
Health
I like
services.
this one. So I don't think we have really like a picture, but what we've done in the past, oh, no, you printed out the mock money
Oh, yeah.
right there. So we've printed out like, so we worked on a master plan in West Brookfield years ago, and we made like these West Brookfield bucks. And so basically the idea is to allow each participant with a certain amount of like dollars to allocate, and then there are certain boxes with different town services and facilities. And so they have to choose with their allocated money which they want to fund. So they could put all of their money into the schools and nothing else.
That sounds
They
pretty good.
Yeah.
could divvy it up, yeah, based on different, so what were some of the, oh yeah, so there we go. So these are the different categories. So the education, housing assistance, parks and rec, town events, economic development. So then this is another one where we could really like kind of quantify it at the end and create a chart saying, you know, this education was the top one, perhaps.
Yeah.
Thoughts on this? Do we like the categories here? I think that covers everything.
Looks great.
Yeah, it's a great exercise. That's
Yeah,
something
it'll be fun. We have some new interns starting this week, so I think I'll give it to them to come up with a creative. I was thinking Douglas dollars.
I was thinking Douglas doubloons.
We'll see.
Yeah. Douglas Doe.
Douglas Doe. Douglas Doe, that's the one. I like that, Douglas Doe.
Douglas doe.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, all those categories look good. You just change that one Leicester Public Library to the Douglas Public Library and you're good.
All right.
Should we group water and sewer together or have them two separate?
No, they're both under.
Yeah,
They're together.
Both
together. Same department.
Sounds good.
Is,
Would it be of any benefit for people to understand how much these projects actually cost?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, if we can have like a supplemental board, like showing maybe stats from like the annual report or something along those lines. I'm trying
Just,
to,
you know, like one, water and sewer. Well, everybody's going to want water and sewer, but the cost to do that. Yeah, like maybe there's a board with some of that information, like the average cost for some of these items. You know?
The average paving of a road per mile is.
I think
The
that's,
average sidewalk per mile is.
Yeah.
Like you just stated, Bob, 1 mile, $1 million.
Right,
Water,
right,
sewer.
right.
I think general people would have no idea.
Right,
it is
well,
that
that's just the thing,
expensive.
everybody goes, how come they don't fix all the roads?
Yeah.
Well, because,
And comments, repaving. There's different types of
Oh, yeah,
repaving.
that is,
Yeah,
Yeah.
You can just pave over the existing
that's something I
pavement.
wanted to talk
where
about.
they
You
used
can
to.
mill and overlay,
Yeah,
or you can regrind.
So, yeah, Europe started that a long time ago where they developed a machine that would grind it, remix it in the machine, and then put it back down on the road
right.
instantly. As it went along, the new road was behind, the old road was torn up.
Why don't they use
They have done
that?
that in.
A lot
downtown
anymore.
Oxford.
They do, a lot of it was new technology back in the day,
Right,
but I guess it depends on what parts of the country you live in. You go to Michigan, the roads are all concrete,
Yep.
right, yeah, but I mean,
but
I
you
don't
come
see
over
them
here,
using it
they're all
around here.
aggregate. It depends on where
I don't
you're
see them
at.
use it around here a lot, and I'm wondering
that
why.
called?
Because I've seen them use it
Regrind?
sometime.
No, they grind it,
Yeah,
re-solution it, and then it's pavement coming back
So it's
out.
not chunks of old pavement?
No, it's,
it's
Oh.
ground right
it
up.
looks just.
They grind it right back to its natural state, put the chemicals back in it, put it back on the road.
Yeah, but I don't know why it's not used more. It must have something to do with price or something,
Could.
you know, because otherwise you'd think they'd be using it all the time.
And there it comes back to, a lot of times, regulation.
it probably-
Sometimes it's like,
Yeah, and you-
Sorry,
bring it back in.
no, it's good, but we go up. But it's a good conversation. So would it be difficult to put something out there, to develop something that sort of gives people an idea of,
I think it's a
the
great
actual
idea,
cost?
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna talk to some people at our office who know more about
Like
that.
Parks and Recreation, there's
Okay, thank you.
no cost
So, yeah, but we'll
You know,
try to
not too much.
compared to water and
give people an
sewer.
idea.
Right.
I can
If
give
you're wondering
examples of the
what
3 projects we
Right.
just
X
finished.
cost.
That's gonna
There
be
you go,
useful.
that'd be great. Yeah, if it was like a more
$8.5
local.
million for Gilboa in northeast Maine, $14 million for Upper North Street, which is in the works. Depot Street will be $4 million.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but I really do think they need, I mean, we know how bad, because they're doing a lot of stuff, but just how much is repaving, how much a mile? Because
Right.
when everybody thinks that we should just jump in there and do it, what they don't realize is we just don't have that much money, unless we want to raise their taxes sky high, and then they change their mind, right?
Yeah, Chapter 90, excuse me,
Chapter
doesn't
90.
Right.
get us very far.
It doesn't get us-
316, I think we double it
Right.
at the town meeting, so
Yeah.
700, that does not go.
No.
Not even a mile.
Yeah,
Yeah, not even a mile.
right.
Sad.
We have 88 miles of road in town
And growing.
and growing.
So I think the last table, so we definitely want to make this like a family-friendly event as well and have an opportunity for kids to kind of participate in their own way. So, have you done this before? The build your own, I'm not familiar with this activity.
No, I just read the instructions when I was putting this on
okay.
the slides, but like, yeah, they're given like a sheet where they can just place these different, I think we have stickers for them, and they can just like place where they'd like to see things go on the sheet.
And then an iPad station for them to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
we always have someone supervising like a kid's table that can walk them through the activity as well.
You know the kids are gonna want to keep the stickers, you know that, right?
Yeah.
We'll
We
we'll
have
order
some
lots of
extra-
stickers.
Extra for them.
With our big budget now.
Store and bigger store.
Big.
Do you have any kids at previous events historically?
Yeah,
You do?
yeah, we do. It's because like parents get out of work, they want to like have their kids with them as they go to this event, yeah. And like, because part of the promotion is like, yeah, you can bring your kids here if you want to. They look at that as like an opportunity. Like-
Yeah, so when we do a lot of like the promoting for this event, we're gonna come up with a flyer, and it'll say, you know, kids invited, or,
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And pizza provided.
yeah,
Yeah, so they don't have to go home and make supper for them, even better.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly, we'll have plenty of pizza for the kids.
Will they be commingled with everything else, or in a separate area, or how does that work?
Yeah, usually it's kind of like a stationary table.
Yeah.
that, we will have, yeah, one supervisor there at all times.
Who's gonna order the pizza?
That was my next question. Where are you getting
Yeah,
it
and
from?
where should we get it from? What's the best pizza place in
We have 4 pizza
town?
houses, so I think you should
I haven't gotten
Spread it around.
pizza in a while.
Spread it out.
I think so.
I know Gregory's will probably give you a discount if they know it's a town event.
Yeah,
I like that.
and so won't the others.
yeah,
Yeah,
they all, yeah.
yeah.
I know Gregory's will, but I don't think they could handle the.
I think we should, we have 4 pizza houses? I thought we had 3.
No.
We got one more? We got,
3.
Gregory's, House of Pizza, and Harry's.
yeah, that's 3.
Three.
Okay, 3. Now, when you order the pizza, can you order some without cheese? Because I can't be the only lactose intolerant person in the town of Douglas.
We will accommodate dietary restrictions.
And
They have
Matt wants me
gluten-free
to-
pizza?
Breadsticks. What? That's breadsticks.
No, you can put sauce on it, you can put peppers and onions and pepperoni, and it's actually pretty good.
So logistically, how does that work in terms of numbers? People you anticipate, people that actually come, and how many you order?
Oh, for pizza?
Yeah.
I don't know, I've never done this part before. I will need to ask
We'll have
someone
to check with
who works
somebody.
Yeah, what the actual number, because I don't know if because we're not going to do like a RSVP thing, I don't think.
No.
Sometimes that's convenient to do, because then we could
The
anticipate.
fire
Guess what?
department just had an open house.
Uh-huh.
And there were tons of pizza, so one of us should contact John Furno to find out how many attended, how many pizzas they ordered.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to get,
John will call
just to get an
tomorrow.
idea of,
Yeah, I'll call John, I'll kill
because some people might not even have some people might have some for other people.
Question is, we don't know how many people are going to get to
Right.
come, yeah. So,
And if we,
What is the average, it's hard to say, I guess, average turnout for one of these events?
We get like 50 to like, I mean, we've had over 100.
Yeah.
Over, yeah, pretty, it really varies depending on the town.
Is it related to the survey's
I was gonna
return?
say, 'cause we got a
Because
pretty
we're
good
already
turnout.
above that
Yeah.
number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the postcard hasn't even gone out yet.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll have to check to see how many we got in Leicester,
Yeah.
because it's like, Leicester, so they had a survey, they had 413 in the end, by the time they closed, just like a week ago.
And then how many?
The turnout, I think, was between 50 and 100.
Oh, that's it.
Should be 25%.
That's we'll have to follow up with them on that.
Okay.
But we could use that as a basis.
Okay.
But at the same time, we're already at 470 now, so.
Well, we could always have them on standby too, we see we're getting low. Need more.
Yeah. Right, you don't have to get all of them at front.
Right, yeah, kind of stagger it through.
And how long is the open house? 3 hours?
5:30 to 8, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you get some at 5:30, get some at 6:30, get another batch at 7:30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is too, the people that make the pizza have to plan for it. So you
Yeah.
got to notify
Yeah.
them a
Right.
week ahead of time,
Right.
how many you're going to need.
Okay.
I worked at AC Tech,
Yeah,
and they
with a
used to have
range.
these company.
Okay.
And we should note that, like,
For 300.
Leicester was also at Castle Cantina with a cash bar.
Yeah.
So they probably had more people because of that.
That got people
Oh,
to turn out.
that could make it interesting. Yeah, that would be a fun one.
Oh, yeah.
Can we get a license for that here?
Do we get cookies too?
Okay, so where are we?
I think, did we?
Cookies.
So we included two others.
Yeah.
So we included, Warren had an anonymous comments box. So if people want to add anything at the end before they left, they could add it there.
Oh, that's,
Yeah.
so just
good
a
idea.
box, people fill out a piece of paper,
Yeah.
put it into the box?
Yep.
Nice. And that's just about the master plan event?
Yep.
Or, okay.
Well,
Any
yeah,
comment,
just the questions
really.
here, like how did we do,
I
yeah.
would think, pretty much any comment, right?
Yeah, any comment.
So it could be, yeah, if something wasn't covered at one of the stations, but they
Right.
really wanted to convey that information.
Like there's that last question, what else should we know about Warren?
Okay.
In this case, Douglas.
And we should note that there will be like kind of a welcome table as well, so we could have some information on the master plan, like the timeline, what this committee's been doing, have surveys available, and just kind of greet people if people want to get involved with this process. We could have like a sheet where people could write down their email addresses. Yeah, so that'll be kind of the first station. And you had said that at Leicester, there was kind of like a sheet we gave people where it describes each station that they're going to. Is that correct?
No, there was we had like a sheet for each tabler. Describing
Oh,
like
that's
what
for
they,
our
yeah.
purposes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Would that be helpful for people here so they're not,
Yeah.
they could like kind of look through and see, oh, like that looks interesting. I want to hit up the economic development table.
I
Like a
agree.
little map?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Little
map with a short
yeah.
description of what.
Show what stations are in what location.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
just like almost like an exhibitor's map for a conference.
Yeah.
Yep, Big E, Big E, the big D.
We need to just determine which room we're gonna be in. If we're gonna have over 100 people, we can't be in this room. We gotta be in the gym.
Oh, yeah.
It just makes sense to do it, Jim.
I think the gym's the place to be.
Regardless, I think so.
And this could be the pizza room.
No,
And the gym is like, it's right down the
Yeah,
hall?
we'll go
Big
take a
enough for
look.
everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
yeah, the gym is good
Yeah, we
size.
have
I think
to
that's
put
what,
down
pictures of it.
mats,
Yes.
paper to
We'll work
protect
with the highway
floor.
department, they have a ton of tables and all sorts of things.
but they have to cover the floor with
I think they
something,
have to cover.
like they do when you have the elections.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many days between the election and this?
4?
Oh, maybe they could just leave the floors covered.
The election's November.
18th,
18th.
4 days before.
This town
Ours
meeting.
is 4 days.
Town meeting.
You're right, no,
Town
election,
meeting.
The election-
is
Oh.
the,
It's like
Fifth?
that's
The
the
5th.
The
And this
5th,
is, what day is this?
yeah.
14.
9 days later, so they'll just leave it.
If they don't have
Unless-
anything going on in
They
between,
got all
maybe they
sorts of
could.
basketball practice.
Yeah, basketball season's going on.
Pickleball.
Yeah.
Oh, are they playing
Could we move it
pickleball
to the
now?
high school for a week event?
No, they got
They-
kids practicing in the gym.
But I mean, no, do they play, are they, during the week, do the people come in and play
High
pickleball?
school for a
Yes.
I
week.
think so.
They do.
Mondays and,
I don't know.
Then maybe that's where you should leave some of the surveys,
yeah, that's
because
what,
those are all Douglas residents that are coming in to play pickleball.
yeah. I should move that over to the gym instead of right outside my office. It's not bad yet.
Yeah,
Split it up.
Yeah.
right there by the
They
steps.
disappear, if they do, throw some more down there.
Yeah.
And then when they're doing basketball practice too, that must be
Yeah,
parents that are coming in with their kids and stuff.
yeah.
That might be a really, really good place to send out
Yeah,
some
we're
of the
not getting a
surveys.
whole lot where they're sitting right now.
Right, because nobody's coming in there, but down there, they're all going in
No one
there.
wants to see me, I guess.
Well, they should be in the clerk's office.
Yeah. Well,
But you don't get much action there, not what you're gonna get down at that gym with all those people
that's
coming and
true.
going.
Yeah.
I'll move it down there. Okay.
What's this last page?
The last page.
Can you describe that one? Or the growth strategies?
Yeah, so we found this sort of last minute. They did it in Warren. It was just, I think it was like supplemental to maybe probably the land use table, but it's another like sort of informational.
Huge magnifying glass.
It's like another informational poster that is a little bit interactive. It covers 4 different strategies for how the town should grow throughout the years. Like, one is just like sort of maintain the status quo, business as usual. Another is like focus more on like spreading things out, whereas another one is more on like infill and like building in dense areas where development already takes place. Sort of talking about the pros and cons of each of them, and then having like a little thing at the bottom for people to vote on which strategy they like the most.
I think that's good feedback.
Yep.
So we can include that in the land use table.
Yeah, I like that as part of land use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing, if you have, 8 by 10 sheets, make it bigger so people can
Oh.
read. Carol can't even
It'll be
read
like, it'll
it.
be like that,
Size.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
the board.
Can you vote for all 4 with different colors?
Yeah, I guess we would have like one color for each.
We've got green, orange, and red.
I think that at the bottom is just talking about like,
That's yellow, Bob.
A yellow.
the things at the bottom are covering like how much, relative open space is preserved, how much housing costs are relatively increasing, and how much density is relatively high or low. But we could have them, so maybe we could, so you're saying to color code like the voting based on like whether they think it's good, bad, or like neutral on it?
Almost like your housing.
Yeah, like the
You
housing
had
one?
you
Yeah.
had the different colors on your housing.
Okay.
Prioritize.
Yeah.
Weigh it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is your thought process just to pick one of these?
I like yours better,
Green, yellow, red.
Yeah.
Anything else regarding open house planning from your end?
No, this is great. So for the next meeting, we're going to pull all these materials together and just review it again, just to make sure everyone's comfortable with everything. So yeah, that's just the plan for next meeting, which I think is on the 30th.
Yes. Yeah, next meeting is 30th.
30,
Is that Halloween?
no,
Next day.
That's the 31st is Halloween.
31 day?
I can bring candy if you want.
All right.
Still weighing it.
I'm not sure we're gonna have to dress up, that's what I was.
I'll hold you to that. Any other final comments on the workshop preparations?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Very,
Always interesting.
It is.
It gets us,
fun.
it gets us chatting.
You
That's the
definitely
problem.
need to have a tour of our town, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, yeah. We'll plan that more maybe the next meeting.
We didn't
as well.
discuss Oktoberfest feedback.
Yep, we're getting
All
there.
right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There.
I thought we were winding
But
up.
thank
We
you.
were done, too.
That was exciting. That was a great day.
So we were just curious, were either you, or both of you manning the table?
Yeah.
And was it really exciting? And
Oh my God, it was
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
was it really?
We ran out of surveys and flyers. We had to go back to our office and print more.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We were swarmed.
So we're curious what conversations you had, what kind of feedback you got, questions from the those who
Yeah, I mean, people were really excited that the town is doing this. So it was really good feedback that,
We gotta
yeah,
get
the
more
town
pizza.
is pursuing this. So,
Pizza.
any kind of like stories or anything people said?
One comment that someone seemed the most concerned about, just at the October, well, we actually had a teenager talk about paving the roads because of the potholes. And there's, yeah, like you said, like there's plenty of people in the survey talking about paving the roads. Another one that stood out to me was this one woman was really emphasizing like improving special education in the schools. Because she has a student that like is apparently they aren't really manning like any 5014 or IEP programs, so like there's not really an option for them to receive special education according to her. So yeah, I'm just curious about that.
On that.
And that's something we saw in the survey a lot too, was like improving the services at the schools, the different options for students.
She needs to go to a school committee meeting because it's not our purview.
Right.
Right.
But we can talk about that in the master plan.
Yeah.
Well, good, I'm glad you got positive response responses, and
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. The candy kind of helped draw people to the table. Not gonna lie.
Where were you set up? One of the,
And next to, there were some donuts, there were,
They're right in front of our house.
Was it, yeah, in front of Colin Errol's house.
oh, okay.
Right across from the
So on
coffee
Main
bean.
Street?
Yeah, yeah, they were right there.
well, thank you. Thank you for doing that.
Another thing
It
people
might have
were asking
melted when you were
about was
It was a
different
hot
like
day.
trucking facilities that are popping up, like towards the border with Uxbridge.
What kind of facilities?
People were wondering like what the different new facilities popped up, like what they were. There was like apparently a new trucking facility.
Distribution center.
Oh, the big,
Oh, the warehouses?
Yeah, big
Oh, okay,
Cubes, like
Yeah.
BJ's or?
No, the one we just put up,
Oh,
Yeah.
the cubes.
Apparently there's one where it's like, it's not really like labeled, so they couldn't really see what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't have
Yeah,
a sign
that's
on
the
it because they
one.
don't have a tenant
oh,
yet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. But, so it's like a warehouse that's built up, but there's no tenant.
Million square feet of warehouse.
A little bit over a million.
Yeah,
1.2.
That was our, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I was talking.
And there's almost 3 more million coming in.
Ross passed it around. Thank you.
They don't have a tenant yet, so.
Yeah.
That's a picture of their tent off of the rest if you didn't.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's great.
You just passing it around?
Oh, no kid.
Nice.
They were located next to House of Pizza, that
Yeah.
big gray 3-decker, right.
And my wife and I bumped into Sam, and then I wanted to get back up to chat with him, and never did, because we were
was a-
putting on the car show. And we did some
Yeah, you guys saw it, obviously.
yeah.
There.
Boy.
It was such an awesome event. I've been to a bunch of town like events and stuff, and this one like blew everything out of the water. It was something for everyone
And we've
there.
been doing it for like over 20
It
years.
was
What didn't
awesome.
have was parade and fireworks.
Like, I'm gonna go next year.
Yeah, it's very
We
popular.
had good weather too, we're lucky.
Yeah.
The
It was a
best,
nice
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right.
So do you have anything else for us?
I don't think so. I know we're getting close to time, so I don't wanna hold you any longer.
Anyone have any questions or comments?
Again, thank you.
Emily and Sam, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Always interesting.
Yeah, great.
And the next steps are getting this workshop going,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm hoping we're going to get a really good response.
Yeah.
Blow that out of the water, too.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be setting up all the tables and doing all that work?
Highway department.
That's us.
The highway department, and you?
Yeah.
Highway's gonna bring the tables over.
Yeah.
You guys will decorate them and whatever you need to do.
There'll be a bunch of CMRPC staff. We have like one person for each table,
Oh, okay,
and
oh, okay, good.
yeah, a few other people coming probably.
So, in your leisure, go through the survey results. Glad to chat about that
Yeah.
at our next
We
meeting.
have it, right?
I'm sorry?
And fill
You fill
out.
out,
I got mine in just under the wire.
I'll be doing mine when I get home.
But it was great.
Now, I feel shame.
Anything else?
I have one
Tonight?
question. What's that picture up there on the left?
That's where, Bob's background.
That's Bob's.
That's my background, that's been shot upon there.
Oh, okay, very pretty.
Yeah, right this time of year, a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's pretty, thanks.
Right now, he's behind the rocks. You can't see him, he's out down there fishing.
Did we miss anything now? Did we miss anything? We're good?
No, we're all set.
All right.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So be it.
Excellent.
Thanks, Bob.
Excellent.